Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Lorraine and welcome to my channel. Now just before I dive in there and pull your cards for today, I'd just like to say I am an experienced and professional, holistic and spiritual counselor and mentor, and I offer 100% money back guarantee for image readings, tarot readings, also the programs, as well as spiritual and holistic counselling, mentoring, plus advice to help you with union with self and union with your person. Just check out the details in the description box below this video for more information. So let's dive in there, guys, and let's see what messages the cards have for you, for both you and your person's love journey thus far. Right, let's go. All right, wow. So what's going on now? You could very well be in a relationship with your person. All right, so let's go. So you're coming in with the Empress. The Empress is Taurus and also Libra. So Taurus, the second house is really about material possessions. So it actually talks about you, talks about the person that you are. This is how I'm picking it up. And the seventh house talks about the relationships that you have built. Okay, the relationships that you have built in terms of friends and family, in terms of social networks here, guys, social clique here, work colleagues, and also your person. Okay, so when you're coming in this way, so what it talks about here is that, well, you've got everything that you want in a sense here, guys. Yeah, well, they're seen as someone that has their own home. They make their own money here. Can be seen as a single parent here. All right. Yeah. And when you're coming in this way, there is an element of you're seen a certain way by your friends and your family. You're known for what you have, to be quite honest here. People know that here, not so much work colleagues or people that you have met here, but I do get with the Empress card, when you do meet new people, they are quite surprised at your material wealth here. Because you may not come across that way here. All right, so this is a birth to something new here, guys. All right, I'll keep going here. Okay, so now you're coming in with the Hierophant guy, and you're coming in with Taurus here. I do see the Hierophant as Taurus and also Capricorn. All right, so once again, you're coming in with Venus here. It's coming in with your private life, because Venus is in Cancer at this point in time. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon rules your fourth house. Okay, now let me just keep going here. This is a foundation. This person is quite solid here, guys. This person is a leader. You know, these are the characteristics and attributes of the Hierophant here. Very traditional here. All right, guys. I need to pull some more cards and let's see where this is going. All right. It's a relationship, most definitely here. But let's keep going here. You may want something more with your person that you're involved with. You may want something solid here, is what I'm also picking up here in your reading. You may want to do more with your person here. Or with your partner here, guys. Let me keep going here. I do seem to think there's an element of that. Okay, so let's come in with the obstacles and challenges here. Thank you. Oh, all right. Okay, what are we talking about here, guys? Okay, so you have the Nine of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords here, 16 and 17, and you have the King of Wands. Okay, stuck here, guys. All right, let me just keep going here. Okay. What I get here is that for the King of Wands, this person wants to take some kind of action, but they're unable to take that action at this time because you're coming in with wanting freedom here. Freedom from a situation here. Coming in with anxiety. With the Nine of Swords, you come in with anxiety, stressful situation, a lot is going on here. It's coming in as I want to do what I want to do. Now, when you come in with the King of Wands is someone who wants to take action here, guys, but this person is unable to take the action that they are wanting to take, and it's becoming an obstacle and a challenge here in your reading. Now, what it talks about here also is that you may see this person as the one. Here, the one. That's one way in which I can put this, all right? But what it also talks about here in your reading is that for the King of Wands, the way in which it's coming in, when you're coming in this way, they can't do things for themselves. They can't do what they want to do here. And here, of course, there's a fear factor here. All right, guys? And I suppose it could very well be a worry for your person here to take the correct action. Well, the correct action is the action that they want to take here, to do what they want to do. It does have an element of freedom here, guys, when you're coming in with the King of Wands here in your reading. And what it's talking about here, that they don't have their own autonomy. I don't know how else to say it. This person, the King of Wands here in your reading, is governed by tradition and religion, so it's almost like they have to follow through with the program here, an outdated belief system here in your reading. But I will pull more here, guys. This is, yeah, of course, you could see it as a sticky situation here. But what it talks about here in your reading is consequences. Consequences for my actions here. This King of Wands. Because what it can talk about there in your reading is that it really comes down to here. It really comes down to taking the correct action here in your reading. And for the King of Wands, what it talks about there is, well, there's an element here, guys, of, well, I just want to do it how I want to do it. I just want to do it my way here. And I'm not saying, you know, anything about that, but every time this person takes a certain action, here, it leads to the Eight of Swords. Yeah, still come in with it here, guys. And being stuck in fear here is actually this person's ego. That's what it's saying. See, it's almost like saying here in your reading, why do I keep doing what I'm doing? Why do I keep taking that chance? Or, here it is a chance. It can also be seen as a risk here. Why do I keep doing that? Here in your reading, it's awkward here for this person. It's awkward to make the choice that they want to make, or it's awkward here, it's the freedom. All right, guys, it's their autonomy. They don't have the control and they don't have their own autonomy. That's what I'm getting. This person is governed by tradition and religion, and this person could also be governed by institutionalized thinking here. So, of course, this person has a tick list here, and I get this person ticks that list here. But that list is all about their ego. And I always come in with, you know, oneself here. And that is exactly what this person is doing. But the tick list and the ego is to follow the same program, is to do the same thing, choose here, make the same choices here, but hoping for a different outcome. That's it. That's what I'm getting here. They're hoping for a different outcome. And so they do it, hoping that the outcome, the result, their desired result is going to come in. But because they invest, this is what it talks about here, and because they take a step further and further here into this, it is by then that this person realizes, I've gone too deep. The Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords here, I've gone too deep, and I don't know how to back out unless I just cut it off completely here. But what it also talks about here in your reading is that for this King of Wands, they consistently act that way here. Now, I'll keep coming in here, guys. I want to see here in your reading here. Okay, let's go. Let's see what the potential outcome is. All right. Okay. All right, guys. So you're coming in with the Seven of Cups. You have the Magician. This is Virgo energy. This is Virgo. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. All right, guys. And this particular Mercury rules your 6th house, because Mercury rules your 3rd houses and your 6th house. Now you're coming in with, here we go. Now you're coming in with the High Priestess here. High Priestess of Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon. All right. And the moon rules your 4th house. And I was talking about that here in your reading. Now what I get here is, so you're coming in with the Magician, Virgo. I get here you're a business owner. You have a social media platform here. And coming in with the High Priestess, well, it's mainly you do tarot, you do divination here, esoteric here, guys. All right. Let me keep going with that. Well, you got options coming in if you do that here, guys. You may even actually have a business here. It may be something that you have fully invested in a sense here, guys, where that is where you generate your income here. There is an element of that here in your reading, because see that Empress card and the High Priestess, that is one person, yet that is actually other people as well here. Okay. Here, because of the 9 of Swords and the 8 of Swords here in your reading, because it comes in as the choices here, the choices that this King of Wands makes. Here, there is a here, and see these 7 cups here in your reading. These 7 cups aren't just other people. I do get you get a lot of attention here. Potentially here in your reading you are going to get a hell of a lot of attention, but what it also talks about here in your reading is that you are going to also get other opportunities. It comes in that way, career opportunities. But there's a need here, guys. This is caution. This is needing to be mindful here in your reading, is that you need to know what's within these 7 cups that are coming towards you. Now's not the time just to be grabbing, clutching at straws or going towards someone here, unless you're actually ready to do that here in your reading, or you're quite clear on the path forward for yourself here. Your reading, guys, here. And so, yeah, so it comes down to, okay, here in your reading, it comes down to figuring out here, okay, figuring out your next steps forward. All right, and what it is that you're going to be, well, you've got to know here, guys, what it is that you want, simply by knowing what it is that you don't want. Yeah, of course, we could come back over here to the King of Wands, but what it actually talks about there in your reading, and you do have an element of self here. Okay, and so because I get here in your reading, you've done certain things with yourself here. Like I said, very attractive here, guys. You're coming in with these 2 cards here, this here. And so what I'm picking up there in your reading is that it's what you've got on your plate, what you do with yourself, your schedule here. Yeah. Now, coming in with the Magician card, what it's talking about there in your reading, well, coming in with Virgo here, guys, is that, wow, there's a restart here. There's a rebirth here. Okay, there's an ending happening here for you, and maybe even your person, this King of Wands, which is why they are the way that they are at this time. All right. They're not the obstacle and the challenge. They're actually the obstacle and the challenge for themselves here, guys. Not so much for you here. And so coming in the way that you are, what it's talking about there in your reading is you need to master your craft here, in a sense, here in your reading, because you need to know what it is. You need to be solid here, guys. You need to, because it also talks about here, solid in the knowledge and understanding that you have here, that you are trying to build here, guys, that you are investing into, because that's what it's talking about here, guys. There needs to be full commitment here. I do get here in your reading is that you are working towards being fully committed here to what it is that you want to bring into your reality here, because in a sense here, guys, you're the one that is being seen here. Hence why you come in with the Seven of Cups. Yes, of course, it can be seen as illusions, but it's the King of Wands that's coming in. Here is that they're in this, they see the people that, they know that you are attracting a lot of attention. And so they are coming in with that illusion here that you're actually entertaining the Seven of Cups here in your reading. But what it's talking about here is that you're not actually doing that here. That's not what it's coming in as here, guys, when you're coming in this way, the High Priestess. What I get here in your reading with the High Priestess, and you come in with someone who is compassionate, someone who is empathetic here. But what is it that you're doing in order to be compassionate? What is it that you're doing in order to show empathy here in your reading? Because it's not just about divination. It's not just about the esoteric teachings, okay, guys, of the Kabbalah, numerology, astrology. It's not just about that. This is coming in here, guys, is the work that you do here when it comes to working with people here. Now, there is no following tradition and religion here for you, because you're coming in with an element of freedom here. Now, everything that I spoke about in terms of the King of Wands, that is not where you are. And I do get here in your reading is that you are aware that the King of Wands here, this could very well be your person here in your reading, is facing obstacles and challenges here. But what the potential outcome is talking about here in your reading is that you have decided, or you are going to, here, guys, keep moving, keep that momentum working here and keep following that momentum. That's what it's talking about here in your reading, and trusting in your internal compass and your inner knowing here, guys. That's what it's saying here. To keep moving forward. That's what it's saying here in your reading. That's what I'm picking up here, guys. All right. Because what this is talking about here in terms of the Eight of Swords is that this King of Wands recognizes you. They do recognize you here, guys. All right, I do get that. But what it also talks about here in your reading is that you're not going towards this person anymore. You've shifted your focus. That's what I'm getting. You've shifted your focus to focus on what you need to build here. I don't think your person realizes that here in your reading. All right, so let's come in with the advice here, guys. Okay, the Hermit. Okay, so there we have it, the Hermit card. Yeah, there's many ways in which you can come in with the Hermit card here, guys. It can be seen as distance from your person, because there is distance here. But what it talks about here in your reading, in terms of the High Priestess here, the Magician card, the Empress, you're the one that's actually creating the distance here, whether you mean to or not here. And I do get here for your person, they are not used to that distance here. They are not used to closing the gap. Do you understand? What I get here with the King of Wands, the Hierophant guy here, is that this person is used to the other person closing the gap. See, they get to stand here while the other person comes back towards them. But what it's talking about here in your reading is that you're moving further and further towards a goal here, a goal that you are wanting. That's what it's saying. And when you're coming in with the Hermit card, it's exactly what I was talking about here, guys, once again here. Excuse me. And so, you know, this is coming in as a level up, and there is I get here, there is a focus here to get shit right for yourself here in your reading. It is coming in as your mental health and well-being. That's also a big focus for you here. And so what that can come in as when you're coming in with Virgo. All right, guys, and that is, and work. So that's the main focus at this point in time. And by shifting your focus and by focusing on what needs to be, how would you say it, solid here, a foundation, because that's what you're building here in your reading, definitely being recognized. There's discipline involved here, is what it's talking about here. See, what it talks about here in your reading is that there's an opportunity here to, I do get this, could be both you and your person here, there's an opportunity to restart, to re-establish here, to get things right and come in correct. Because when you're coming in with the Hermit, what it can talk about there is you're learning a new craft. Coming in with, I don't know if it would be seen as a craft here, but you're strengthening your knowing, your understanding here when you're coming in with the Magician, because there is more than one way in which you can affect change. That is how it goes, eh, guys? There is more than one way in which you can do that. And I get here in your reading is that you're tapping into that here, you're trusting it here in a sense. All right, and you're coming in this way. That's what it's talking about, guys. Yeah, there are new relationships here that you are going to be building. Hence why you're coming in with the Seven of Cups here in your reading. I get you're damn attractive here. I do seem to think your person is well aware of that here. Interesting. What else can I say here, guys? Yeah, because it comes in here, guys, for the, because you're independent here. You do a lot on your own here in your reading. That's what the nine, this is what this is talking about here. Okay, you rely on yourself here. And when it does come to options, because I do get here in your reading is that you do have opportunities around you. Okay, there are people around you that want your time and attention here. All right, guys, and so what it talks about there, it can come in as you're kind of, I would get here, there's a benchmark. There's boundaries here. There is a way in which people will need to come towards you, and if they're not going to come towards you that way, then because you will not be controlled here. You will not be torn apart here because people don't like the person that you are, and you know that can happen when you meet new people. All right, it's not like that for you. That's what I'm getting. When they want to meet you on certain terms here, yeah, they want you to change certain things about you. Here they want to control how you move forward and what you do with your time. Here, that's not how that's going to go with you. That's what I'm getting here when it comes to the Seven of Cups. All right. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your reading. And I'll catch you later. Bye.